Hi friends, welcome to TechGOELogy. Today in this video, I am going to show you how to install ELK Stack on Windows Server systems. Today I am going to take a Windows Server 2019 system and I am going to install ELK Stack on it. If you are looking for a tutorial where you can install ELK Stack on Ubuntu systems, do check out my last video where I have shown you all the steps. You can also check my Medium blog for the same. For those who are new to ELK Stack, let me tell you what exactly is ELK Stack. So ELK stands for Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. Elasticsearch is a search and analytics engine, Logstash is a server-side data processing pipeline, and Kibana is a visualization engine. This is a very useful framework for you if you want to analyze your systems or logs or any other kind of time series data. Okay, so let's move forward to the installation. I'm going to use the steps listed on the Elastic website, but I'm going to add some more steps for the SSL configuration. Okay. Before we move forward, I have already created a Windows Server 2019 machine on Azure. I have also opened the port 80, port 9200 and port 5601. Port 80 will be used by the Let's Encrypt client for verification of our DNS. Port 9200 will be used by Elasticsearch. Port 5601 will be used by Kibana. For those who think that the installation is a bit tough for them or they want to automate the things, I have already created a script in PowerShell which can help you to install the ELK stack in an automated way. Okay, so you can check out my TechGOELogy GitHub repository and then go to the ELK stack folder and then go to Windows Server folder where I have placed the elk-stack.ps1 script. The details are also listed at the bottom of this page. Okay, so do check this out if you think Elastic installation a bit tough. Now let's move forward to our ELK stack installation. So as listed in this installing the Elastic Stack page, we have to install these three tools in a specific order. First we need to install Elasticsearch, then Kibana and then Logstash. So let's start with Elasticsearch. I am going to click on the install instructions and then you can see it has moved me to a page where we have an option for Windows zip archive installation. So I am going to click on this install Elasticsearch with .zip on Windows, and if I go to this page I can see there is a download link in the bottom. The current version for ELK tools is 8.1.2, so we are going to use the same version. I'm going to click on this link and then I'm going to download it. So Elasticsearch is now downloaded. I'm going to copy this elasticsearch.zip file to a folder in C drive which is c/elk. If you don't have any folder like this, you can just create a new one. Pasted it in this folder and then I'm going to extract it into the same directory. Okay, so extraction is going on. The extraction for Elasticsearch should be fast and it is completed. I'm going to rename this Elasticsearch -8.1.2 folder to Elasticsearch only, and let's go to the bin directory first and then let's first start the elasticsearch.bat file. I'm going to open a cmd in the same directory and I'm going to call elasticsearch.bat there. So as you can see, Elasticsearch is starting, and after a bit of time you can see there is something printed on your screen with a password for the user Elastic at the top. So do note down this password when you are installing the Elasticsearch, because we are going to use this password in the next steps. Okay. So after you see this screen, just go to your any of your browser which you like, and then open the URL localhost colon 9200, and as you can see we have an ERR empty response. So by default Elasticsearch is installed with HTTPS configuration. So if we open and 9200 with HTTP, we are not going to get anything. So let's open it with HTTPS configuration. and then you can see we have a connection is not private error in Google Chrome. So we can just go to advanced and then we can proceed there, and here we can use Elastic as the username, and password will be the password that we have just copied. Okay, so post sign in, you can see that our Elasticsearch is completely installed. Okay, as we are going to integrate Kibana with Elasticsearch in this tutorial, we need one more user's password, which is called Kibana underscore system. In the next step, when we will be configuring Kibana, we have an option to provide username and password for Elasticsearch, but we can't provide Elastic user there because Kibana won't let us do that. So for that reason, we need to use the Kibana underscore system user, and we are going to change the password for the same. I am going to open the CMD into the same bin directory of Elasticsearch, and then I am going to use a different bat file which is called Elasticsearch reset password. Okay, in there I need to provide -u argument, and I will provide the username as Kibana underscore system. Press enter and then it will ask you for the confirmation, and after that you will get the password for Kibana underscore system user. Just copy this password and save it to your favorite notepad. Okay, now let's install Elasticsearch as a Windows service. If we install it on Ubuntu, the service is automatically created when we install it using the repository. But for Windows, as we have installed it using a zip file, we need to install the service manually. For this, also we have a different we have a different bat file in the same bin folder. I'm going to call the same bat file, which is called elasticsearch-service.bat. Okay. So I'm going to call elasticsearch-service.bat with install as an command, but I think it will fail because we have already a running instance of Elasticsearch in the background. So let's open the CMD where we have start the Elasticsearch, and we can just press Ctrl C there to stop the Elasticsearch. Okay, so I have pressed the Ctrl C, and let's press Y to confirm that we want to stop the Elasticsearch, and then let's run our elasticsearch-service.bat command again with install as argument. Okay, so as you can see, our installation for this has been completed. So now let's configure SSL in Elasticsearch. If you have followed my Ubuntu tutorial, I have shown you that uh, we can create a Let's Encrypt certificate using certbot, but for Windows we don't have any certbot utility. We have WinAcme utility. Okay, so if you go to Google and type win-acme, then you will be able to see one link for the WinAcme. Okay, so I'm going to open this WinAcme website and I'm going to download the utility. Just download this utility and copy it to the c/elk directory and extract its content there. Okay, so I have completed the extraction of WinAcme utility. Just open the folder where you have extracted this utility, and you can see there is one file which is called wacs.exe. Open CMD in this folder only. We are going to call wacs.exe with some commands. So WACS can also be called with an interactive mode, but today we are going to do it in a single line command. This command is also useful when you are going to automate this thing. And as I have already told you, I have already automated it using a script. Do check out my GitHub page for the same. Okay. So let's call this utility with wacs.exe. So I have already created one DNS for my Azure machine, and I'm going to copy and paste the URL in my notepad. And now I'm going to call the WACS utility with all the arguments that we need for the certificate. Okay. So let's call wacs.exe with hyphen source with value manual, because we are not going to install it on any IIS or something. WACS also gives you ability to install certificates directly to IIS, but we are going to use it for a different purpose today. Okay, so I'm going to call source as manual, and then I'm going to call hyphen host with the DNS that I have just copied. Then I need to call the hyphen store argument because I want to generate PEM files. I need to say that I am store the certificates in the form of PEM files. Okay. The last argument is the PEM files path. Using this argument, I am going to tell WACS to install the certificates into this specific path. Okay. Let's run this utility now and it should generate the certificates for me. Okay, so certificate generation is done, and if you go to c/elk, you can see you can see 4 files which are our certificates and key. So I'm going to copy all these 4 files and I'm going to go to the Elasticsearch folder slash then config folder. Then I'm going to go to the search folder and then I'm going to paste all the certificates that I just copied. Okay. Now open the elasticsearch.yml file again and then go to the bottom where we have seen the expect.security.http.ssl. Let's move this key store.path value and then add one key and certificate value here. Okay. Now copy the path for the key.pem file which you can see here, dns-key.pem file, and then paste it to the key value, and then copy the same for copy the crt.pem file for the certificate value. Okay. So I have copied both of them here and then I can just say Ctrl S and that's it for the configuration. Now just open the services.msc file and go to the Elasticsearch service which we just installed and then click on start. And then now go to the Google Chrome and then enter your DNS with :9200. And as I have already told you, I have already whitelisted this port into my Azure instance. Okay. So let's open this HTTPS with DNS :9200, and as you can see, I have this pop-up here. I can just enter the Elastic user and the password that we created in the initial steps. And you can see that my website is working, and at the top of the address bar you can also see that like there is a lock created, and if you click on this lock you can see that our certificate is valid. So we are pretty much done with the Elasticsearch installation. Now let's go to the Kibana installation. I'm going to go to the same page where we have installing the Elastic Stack listed, and then I'm going to click on the install instructions for the Kibana. Again I am going to go to the next page and then you can see the first option is the tar.gz/zip option, and then you can see at the bottom there is an install on Windows option there. I am going to click on the install on Windows option, and then if you go to this page you will see there is one download zip Windows archive file for Kibana. Just click on this link and it will download the Kibana in the version 8.1.2. Okay. So my Kibana is now downloaded and I am going to copy this file to the c/elk folder again, and then I am going to extract Kibana into the same folder. So this extraction is going to take a lot of time. So I am back now, and as you can see it took around half an hour for me to extract the Kibana. Okay, so I am going to rename this Kibana folder again to only Kibana and remove the -8.1.2 there. Let's open the Kibana folder and then go to the config directory and then open the kibana.caml file. So here we have to change many settings. First we need to go to the server.host setting and then uncomment it. Give it a value of 0.0.0.0. Go to the server.public base URL and enter the DNS of your website with HTTPS configuration, because we are going to run this with HTTPS configuration. Next we need to give the HTTPS configuration, uncomment the server.ssl.enabled, server.ssl.certificate and server.ssl.key values here. Now go to the c/elk folder and copy all the files that we generated for Elasticsearch. Okay. Copy this file to the kibana/config/search folder. The search folder is not there by default, but we can create a new one, and then just paste all the SSL files there. Now go to the Elasticsearch section in this configuration file where we have listed the elasticsearch.hosts. Uncomment this part and then give it a value of https colon slash slash your DNS colon 9200. Okay, and now uncomment the Elasticsearch username and password area, and you can see by default it has already listed a username which is called Kibana system. We are going to give it a password that we have already generated in the last steps, in the Elasticsearch steps. Okay, so I have pasted the same password here. Now scroll down in this file and we need to change one more setting here, which is called elasticsearch.ssl.verification mode. Okay, we are going to make, we are going to give it a value as none. Okay, now save this file, and then we need to install Kibana as a Windows service. I tried the sc.exe utility which is built in Windows, but it didn't work for me as a service. So when I searched on Google, I found that there is a utility called NSSM which can help you to install service very easily, and it works for Kibana as well. So currently I'm going to go to the Google and I'm going to download the NSSM utility. Okay, so you can download the latest release from there, and then copy it to the c/elk folder and then extract it there. Okay, just open the nssm-2.24 folder, go to the win64 folder, and then you have one nssm.exe utility. Click on the address bar and open one cmd here. I'm going to now just call one install command here. So let's write a command nssm.exe space install space Kibana and give the bat file for Kibana. So our bat file for Kibana is listed on the celk/kibana slash bin slash kibana.bat. Okay, so I'm going to give the same path here. Okay, so our Kibana service is now installed. Just open the services.msc and then you can see there is a Kibana service listed over there, and then just click on start to start this service. Okay, so our Kibana has been started now. Sometimes Kibana takes a lot of time to start. So if I open Kibana right now, it won't open. Just so let's just try it. Go to the Chrome and then paste your DNS with HTTPS configuration, and at the end give a port 5601. Okay, so as you can see, connection is refused. I can reload for a while, but if I wait 1 or 2 minutes, it will be automatically started. Okay. So while you wait for the same, you can even track its progress. Just open task manager, go to details, and there will be a node.exe process listed. And then if you see this process, it will keep on gaining the memory. And as soon as it stops gaining the memory, you can just try to reload this page again, which means that Kibana should have been loaded properly. And as you can see, it is loading currently. And you can also see in the security section that our certificate is valid. But if you see now, it is saying that something went wrong. This is a general error and it can go away if you just reload this page. It happens sometimes when Elasticsearch doesn't respond to uh, Kibana calls properly. Give username as Elastic and password that we have already created in Elasticsearch steps. Okay, and if you log in, everything should work fine. So now we are done with the Kibana installation. Our last tool is Logstash. So in this tutorial, I'm going to just show you how to download and extract Logstash. How to use Logstash is totally a different story, and I'm going to do some different tutorials for this for Logstash in future. So for now, let's just click on this install instruction for the Logstash. Open it in a new tab, and as you can see, there is a link on installing from a downloaded binary. Okay, just click on this link, and from here you can choose the platform as Windows, and then click on the download button. After download is complete, just copy and paste this zip file again to c/elk folder, and then just extract it into the same folder. This extraction will also take some time, but not as much as Kibana. So my extraction is done now, and I have also renamed this logstash -8.1.2 to logstash, and now we are done with the logstash installation as well. Okay, so for logstash we are pretty much done. And then if you go to the bin folder of the logstash, you can see there is a logstash.bat file which you can use to run the pipelines. Okay, so how to configure pipelines and how to write config files we will see in a different tutorial. For today this is enough. We have installed three tools: Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana, where Elasticsearch and Kibana are connected properly, and we need to configure a config file for the Logstash to start ingesting logs. Make a note that these tools can exist in different machines, in different clusters, anywhere, but these things should be connected with some URLs, or with some URLs and the credentials. There is no compulsion that you need to install all these three tools in a single machine. You can install it differently. Generally, we install Kibana in a different system, and Elasticsearch is installed in different machine to create a cluster. And this is a really good feature of Elasticsearch, where we can increase the performance by adding different machines into Elasticsearch. And Logstash is installed generally as per your requirement. It is not a compulsion to use Logstash. You can use Filebit or many different tools that are used for login session. The best practice is to send any kind of logs to Logstash, process it, and then save it to Elasticsearch. Okay, so for today that is it. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, suggestions, then don't forget to write them into the comment section. If you like this video, then please rate it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.